Hi, my name is Eric Loy, and I'm here to talk to you today about organ, eye, and tissue donation. In 1997, my uncle was diagnosed with primary sclerosing cholangitis, or PSC. It's a disease of the liver that affects the bile ducts and causes them to become inflamed and cause scarring. There's no known cure for the disease other than a liver transplant. Unfortunately, he succumbed to the disease in 2004 because it became liver cancer. And we thought that was the end of it. But in January 2010, I was diagnosed with PSC. And currently I am on the waiting list for a liver transplant. I'd like to introduce my friend Lloyd.
We kind of have some in common. That's because my grandfather was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease, which is not the same as the one you can get from diabetes. It's actually inherited through your traits. So he was the first person in Stark County to be on the dialysis unit, and well, actually on home dialysis, and he had to do it for 12 hours a day, about 7 days a week, and it really took out of him. He used to be a teacher at East Canton. He taught history, and he was also the drama director. And after he was diagnosed with the disease, he had to quit all that and basically just stay bed-stricken. He had to lay in his bed and go through dialysis, and when he died at age 42, he looked like he was like 80 years old because he lost all of his energy. And we knew that we had to be cautious because there's a 50% chance that the next generation can have it too. And we found out a couple years ago that my dad was now diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease. And his function is slowly going down. And sometime this summer or next fall, he, along with my mom, will be going to the hospital, and he'll be receiving a kidney from my mother to try to help with this disease.
When I first heard that Eric was diagnosed with PSC, I remember feeling very scared and upset because I had heard of his uncle who had passed away from the disease. And so I remember feeling just this gravity of how serious the situation was and how he was only a 6th grader and how as a 6th grade student he shouldn't have to deal with that. The funny thing about Eric is that you would never know that this was going on behind the scenes because he's always happy, he's always joking and laughing, and he's actually taken the disease and turned it into a positive. And he is promoting organ donation, he's promoting raising money for charities like Hoops for Healing, and he truly has rose above this small thing that's going on in his life.
Hi, I'm Keely Wagner, and I've known Eric for as long as I can remember. Whenever he was diagnosed, I was in 8th grade and he was in 6th grade. And Mr. Loy, his dad, is my cross-country coach, and we've always been a family. And I've known him as just like my little brother. Going through this process with him and learning each step, it's an eye-opener. I've never really been big into organ donation or knew really anything about it. But coming and doing this, I matured in knowing a lot of knowledge and learning the steps that it takes, and how not that many people are organ donors and understand what comes out of it and who really gets it.
I am Colin McCauley, and I am here to support my friend Eric Loy to bring awareness to organ, eye, and tissue donation. Currently, there are 115,000 people waiting for an organ donation, and my friend Eric is one of them. There are over 1,800 people in Northeast Ohio alone waiting for an organ transplant.
Every 10 minutes, a new name is added to the organ transplant waiting list.
Every day, 18 people will die because they did not receive an organ in time, and you can help stop that.
Most people think that celebrities would go to the top of the waiting list just because of who they are. The truth is that the organs will only go to who they match.
Some people think that just because they signed up to be an organ donor means that if there'd be in a major accident, that doctors would be more concerned about retrieving those organs than they would about their life. When in fact that's not true. The doctors would first check to see if there's any chance that you will still be able to live. And then, if they can't, then they will ask, either friends or family if it's okay if they can take that organ. Just because you're on the organ donation list doesn't mean that they're not going to try to save your life first.
Some people think that you may be too young or too old to be an organ donor. The truth is that you are never too young or too old.
There are 1,785 men, women, and children living right here in Northeast Ohio on the national waiting list. There are 1,294 people waiting for a kidney.
250 waiting for a liver.
20 people are waiting for a pancreas.
104 waiting for a heart.
128 waiting for a lung.
And 4 people waiting for intestines.
On behalf of the people waiting on the National Organ Transplant waiting list, when you go get your driver's license, say yes to the BMV representative who asks you to be an organ donor, or log on to lifebanc.org.
Make a difference in someone's life. Be an organ donor.